Hey folks, Jackdaw here. What a blast of an N7 day we just had, celebrating one of, if not the best sci-fi franchise to ever exist. Not only was it spectacular to commemorate the Mass Effect games, but BioWare actually revealed a brand new promo poster on the next Mass Effect that needs to be fully inspected. On top of that, I'm going over all of 2021's news stories on the next Mass Effect game, because in the middle of this year, we heard a fair few ramblings that I'm finally exploring in this video. With that said, let's blast straight into this and explore each of these news stories. Booting this one up, let's start with those initial tweets. Mike Gamble, the project director on the next Mass Effect, tweeted, "Happy N7 Day everyone. I'm always so proud to be a part of this community and really lucky to be working on the next game in the series. Thank you for sharing this special connection with us, and I'm really excited for what's next." And just after that, the original Mass Effect account tweeted, "We have another N7 Day surprise for you from the team working on the next Mass Effect. Thank you all for being the best fans in the world." Followed up with this astonishing promotional poster on the next Mass Effect. FYI, this is not concept art, but an actual proper poster on the next game. Ain't that sweet? Before we get started tearing into this, I will save my hypotheses after I've broken everything down. Let's first delve into some tinfoil and just pick this entire thing apart. We will start with the odd-shaped crater that most obviously resembles the shape of a Geth in frozen ice, given its arched head and the blue eye socket. It's legit as if Legion is staring straight into my soul. Now, the bluish crater in the middle could also resemble a buried mass relay if you look closely enough. There are some strange shapes and etchings right in there that look like the inners of a mass relay. Perhaps it could be a broken mass relay inside the shape of a Geth. I'm not one to deny any ideas. The frozen landscape of this poster is identical to the Mass Effect 2021 Game Awards trailer when Liara was walking through thick snow, treading past iced over reapers. It seems like the Geth may have also befallen that same fate as the iced over reapers. Amidst the crater are two notable bodies. Each are seemingly Geth. One of them is more hidden closer towards the crater, whereas the other one is more identifiable locked away in the ice. Towards the bottom of the poster, we can see a brand new intriguing spacecraft with a beautiful shape. On each of its sides, the ship has SFX labelled. The main colours of this craft seem to be white, dark blue with accents of an orangey red. I would say that this craft has a similar colour design to an Alliance ship, except those orange accents are throwing me slightly off. The design of the ship is spectacular. Given its size, perhaps it is more of a compact ship that docks inside the Mudskipper, which was the other ship that we have witnessed in concept art and in the Game Awards trailer, the one that we assume Liara occupies. Just above the ship, as if they have recently landed and headed towards the crater with the Geth, we can see a party of 4 approaching the ice. To the far left, I think we have a Krogan given their heavy size and the iconic red colours. In the middle, we have what looks like a human with a helmet on. To the right, I think this is either a Turian or a Solarian. And then right at the front, I think this is an Asari given their blue colours. Perhaps it is Liara herself on this escapade. Obviously, these are just my wild guesses on very small figures. They could obviously represent anything else. My guesses could be completely wrong. And don't forget, this is Mass Effect. They could even be a brand new alien race. Below all of this, at the bottom of the poster, we have a beautiful reminder that Mass Effect will continue. With this poster somewhat torn apart, let's crack into my hypothesis then, shall we? Straight up, I think that this promo poster most likely represents that BioWare are choosing an ending from the original trilogy and just pushing ahead with that as their official canon now, which is honestly something that a lot of people, including myself, have been asking for ages. Just for the sake of future narratives in the Milky Way, if BioWare just go out there and choose an ending, then we can have even more stories and developments in the Milky Way with that as its canon. By the looks of things, given this poster and also the previous Game Awards trailer, the Reapers and the Geth are both frozen over in ice. It seems like to me that the Destroy ending is being showcased. If this was the Control ending, well, I'm pretty sure everyone in the Milky Way galaxy and the Reapers will be working together with the same hive mind consciousness. And honestly, that's pretty much the same for Synthesis, the Reapers and humanity working together as one synthetic organization. The Destroy ending was the only way to neutralize all synthetic life, which obviously both includes the Geth and the Reapers. So given that stance, is this poster showcasing the Destroy ending, that BioWare have decided to just go with an ending and make that the definitive canon for the next Mass Effect game, which seemingly is going to be set in the Milky Way hundreds of years later? Or are BioWare just trying to find a new way to bring back the Geth? Are they not even thinking about the endings and just going straight into the future and just saying, hey, guess what, the Geth are back. You could make a case for both within this promo. It does need to be said that the Geth were testing the waters outside of the Milky Way galaxy, so this could also just showcase a different galaxy other than the Milky Way that the squad have travelled to recover the Geth, whatever it is they're recovering. This may not relate to the trilogy's ending, even though I am definitely getting that vibe and also crossing my fingers hoping for that vibe. Another thing that I should probably gloss over is that if this crater in the middle is whatever remains of a mass relay, perhaps this is one of the quest lines or side plots of the next game, to rebuild the mass relays by scavenging the tech of defeated synthetics. As we know, the Reapers were the ones who created the mass relays. One way to recreate the mass relays would be to scavenge dead Reapers and use their tech for good. Maybe Liara and company are scavenging the Reapers, the Geth and destroyed mass relays to rebuild them. In relation to that, and going back towards more of the Geth, maybe the reason the squad have arrived at this crater is not to reactivate or find a way to bring back the Geth, but to instead use their technologies for something else, like a mass relay, or maybe to connect with the Andromeda galaxy. In Mass Effect Andromeda's early initiative training videos that were used to market the game, I think there were 6 overall training videos that were building up everyone's idea of what Andromeda is and what it's like to be a Pathfinder and your responsibilities and the races that are joining you and the arcs. There were a bunch of these marketing videos that were training you for Andromeda while also selling the game. Anyway, in one of these initiative videos, we discovered that the Geth had cultivated their technology to the extent that they were observing the Andromeda galaxy. And it was actually the Andromeda Initiative who used the Geth technology to scout out Andromeda for themselves, thus proving that Geth technology is more invaluable than we might have thought. Bringing that back to the new game, perhaps the new squad are on the hunt for Geth tech to find the Andromeda galaxy or other galaxies out there, bridging the gap between the Mass Effect trilogy and Andromeda, creating a sequel to both. Surely if we recovered that technology, we could also find a way to get to Andromeda, or we could repurpose that technology or use it for something else. It's definitely something that I really want to see, because I think the ultimate Mass Effect sequel is to bridge the gaps between those two games, and if that was the main narrative, to find Andromeda and to build those mass relays, it'd first of all be pretty meta, and second of all it would be pretty epic. Anyhow, that's at least my biggest hypothesis, at least what I've picked up on from this poster and the Game Mods trailer. Why else would this squad be looking for the Geth? Of course, I've made huge assumptions that this squad here relates to Liara. It may not, of course, but I do get those vibes considering it is an icy planet, and Liara was seen on that icy planet with frozen Reapers. You've got frozen Geth. You can see why I'm making these obvious correlations, but I could be completely wrong. What do you think about this Geth symbolic poster? Do you think we'll see the Geth again in the next game? Is this poster a visual representation that the Geth will make a physical return in the next game, or are you more in line with my thinking that the next squad are looking for Geth technology to reuse their technology to find the Andromeda galaxy? Or do you straight up believe something completely different, like Legion is going to make a comeback? Let me know. I would really love to hear all of your speculation down below, and tell me if I've missed something, some vital lore that explains this poster even more. Anyhow, with that explored, let's move on to the next shorter story. Earlier this year, previous global brand manager at BioWare, Hilary Heskett, took the leap and joined Mike Gamble on the next Mass Effect as a narrative producer, as she confirmed on Twitter and LinkedIn. I'm absolutely wishing Hilary the best on her new conquest, working on the next Mass Effect's narrative. And moving on to a bigger story, trusted VentureBeat reporter Jeff Grubb revealed a huge scoop that the next Mass Effect game may utilize the Unreal Engine instead of EA's mandated Frostbite engine that's proved to be quite a tumultuous time for previous BioWare games. Jeff Grubb reported that publisher Electronic Arts and developer BioWare are seriously considering using the Unreal Engine for the next game in the Mass Effect series. This information primarily comes from an EA job listing for a technical director for Mass Effect 5. The post says the publisher is looking for candidates who have experience with Unreal Engine or higher. Jeff confirmed through multiple sources that this is because everything is on the table when it comes to the tech for a new Mass Effect, and that includes potentially replacing EA's in-house Frostbite engine with Unreal. BioWare built the first 3 Mass Effect games on Unreal, which is a bundle of tools that devs can license from Epic Games to put together new games. For Mass Effect Andromeda, BioWare switched to EA's Frostbite, which developer DICE originally created for its Battlefield shooters, but Mass Effect and BioWare's follow-up Anthem lost something in the transition from Unreal to Frostbite, and that was apparently in elements like ambient world design, where a nightclub in the original Mass Effect would have dozens of dancing characters, Anthem's characters would remain motionless and still until you approached them. For EA, however, Frostbite's appeal was saving money. Since it owned the tech, it wouldn't have to make any licensing arrangements with Epic or other outside firms. Before I share my own opinion on this matter, Jeff had plenty more to share on Twitter. He tweeted, "Tiny scoop, a job listing says EA is looking for a Mass Effect tech director who has experience in Unreal Engine. Engine. I've confirmed that the studio is strongly considering Unreal for Mass Effect 5. At present, EA and BioWare are really considering all possibilities for Mass Effect 5, and a tech director is important to oversee that process. The company wants to embrace next-gen visual tech, and by 2023, when Mass Effect dev starts in full, Frostbite could be far behind Unreal. So while Unreal is a strong possibility, it's also possible BioWare could be looking at Unreal to inform what it needs in Frostbite if it were to stick with EA's in-house tools. But in that process, it seems likely that devs will probably just want to stick with Unreal. Linked in the story, Dragon Age, still a Frostbite game, is expected in 2023. Pyro5 asked Jeff, is 2023 possible for the next Mass Effect? And Jeff Grubb replied, Mass Effect lol, no. Dragon Age 4 in 2023, and then Mass Effect years later. So first of all, yeah, we're not going to see the next Mass Effect for some time yet, obviously. But that's okay, of course. We want the next Mass Effect to take as long as it needs in development. It shouldn't really be a thought if it's going to come out anytime soon. Plus, let's focus on the next Dragon Age, yeah? That's coming out in 2023. We're going to be able to judge Frostbite at a more harsh glance when Dragon Age 4 comes out, and if next Mass Effect should be built on it. But yeah, regarding the next Mass Effect's potential Unreal Engine possibilities, I'm all for it. Honestly, we have heard so many horror stories about the Frostbite engine since BioWare was forced to adapt to it with Dragon Age Inquisition. A lot of this article goes into Andromeda and Anthem, but don't forget Inquisition was the first game that BioWare made using the Frostbite engine. And while I think they did a really good job for their first go at it, that game suffered many difficulties with the engine. According to many of Jason Schreier's articles, it was a miracle Inquisition was so highly praised given how many technical difficulties it went through. So yes, any good news that BioWare may be able to use the Unreal Engine, that's a great sign in my opinion. BioWare have been using Frostbite for around 7 years, and yeah, they have got the hang of mastering the engine now. We've seen and heard the struggles that they have endured. Whereas with the Unreal Engine, BioWare built the entire trilogy on it, and it's just a fantastic engine to use. And unlike Frostbite, it wasn't made just to suit the shooter genre. It's been made to be quite a versatile engine. I think Dragon Age 4 is going to be the biggest sign here if Mass Effect should be working on the Frostbite engine, but honestly, what have they got to lose if they just went with Unreal? That's my 2 cents. I suppose only time will tell. In any event, let's call it there. Please let me know all of your opinions on each of these stories. Of course, for future Mass Effect news, speculation and theories, you're already in the right place when that stuff comes around as rarely as it does. Of course, Dragon Age is my main jam at the moment. Obviously, I am all here for all of that next Mass Effect news. Absolutely. In fact, why not check out my 7 things that I want to see in the next Mass Effect game that I just released this weekend. I'm going to be making a sequel video to that with 60 ideas the fandom wants to see, so make sure you comment on that specific video if you have an idea on the next game. With that said, folks, I've been Jackdaw. Until the next one, I should go. Wahoo-whoa. Wahoo-whoa.